What's going on, everybody? JD here with the next episode of JD Plays Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved Expert Mode. And last time we got a lot of magic stuff going on. We delved deeply into witchery, and we're going to kind of continue down that path of witchery today. Now currently my witchery setup is posted up down here, but we're going to start migrating some of this stuff out of here soon. And as a correction to last night, I believe last night I told you that a witch's oven could only hold 2 fume funnels. It will actually hold 3, one to each side and one to the top. And what each of these fume funnels do is they increase the speed of the machine by 10%, and they increase the chances for a secondary output, which is what we want, by 25%. Keep in mind that the top funnel does not increase the chances of the output, only the 2 sides do, but all 3 increase the speed. There is another piece you can add in, these fume filters, which further increase those chances. I think it's about like 5% or something like that. Anyway, we've got a lot of stuff that I want to get done, and it starts off with the crafting of the Witchery Altar. And the Witchery Altar is kind of the centerpiece to the Witchery mod, in which, where did I start it up at? I started doing it somewhere, maybe. Oh, there it is. Anyways, in which it powers all of the machines for witchery, more or less. All of the circles and things of that nature. Now, to make these altars, let's take a look here. Altar. That's the blood altar. We want the witchery altar. We're going to need some exhales of the horn one, some breath of the goddess, water bottles, stone bricks, and roll-on wood. The roll-on wood I have on me already. The fumes I have on me already. We're going to need to grab some water. And I've got some bottles right here. So we're going to need about 5 because I'm going to do this 5 times. Let's put something away here. Let's drop these off. As always, I have no inventory space. Sorry, guys. Put those bottles back. And then we're going to need some stone brick. And for the stone brick, that's no problem. We'll just grab some stone out of this bad mamma jamma. And we should have... I don't know how this keeps coming back to me, but... we're going to put it right there for now and get it out of my way. In my bag of holding, we should have a chisel right there. So let's grab that chisel, throw those stones in there, and turn them into stone bricks. Alright. And we're ready to do some work right here. So stone bricks, we'll just throw those there, and then water bottles. And we'll clean this out a little bit so that it can hold all the water bottles. So that one, and that one, and that one. And these are backwards. Put it there. There we go. So you get 2 altars for each craft. We're going to get a total of 10 altar blocks. And let's see how this works. So if we take this altar and we just plop it down, I don't know, right here. In a 2x3. It'll cover in red carpet, and that's how you know, hey, it's working. And you can see that currently the altar has a power level of 501, and it gains 10 power per tick, roughly. Okay? Now, the trick with the Witchery Altar is that the more living area it's around, more plants and whatnot, the more powerful it's going to be. So if we take this, and I've set up an area where we're going to move all of our witchery stuff, and you're going to have to forgive me, but these little glint weeds that I planted, they kind of took over the world. And what I mean by that is I planted, to begin with, a group of glintweed that looked something like... let's see, where's that one at? I had one here. And then, yeah, one there. No, that one wasn't there. It was right there. So I started off with those plants. And I kind of spread them around a little bit because they make light, and it kind of got a little bit carried away because they reproduce themselves. And so we kind of have glintweed literally everywhere now. And yeah, my life is now glintweed, or whatever you call it. Yeah, glintweed. So I don't really have to worry about things spawning on my mountain anymore, which is nice, but there are glintweeds everywhere. So be careful with this stuff. It's very potent. Anyway, so this area that I've built in, this is going to be where I handle some witchery stuff. So we're going to pop this one off. And we're going to take our altar and just place it down right here. And there we go. look at the power now. 2161. Now the times 1 is how fast we fill it up. And there are other things that we can do that can increase these numbers. But at its base, it's 2161 right now. It is taking into account the tiles. It's taking into account the plants, the trees, the leaves. It's taking into account every piece of life around here. And if you look, I've got all these artichokes planted. I've got tons of sugar cane. I've got a couple little rubber trees. But realistically, where it's gaining the most of its power... I think this is the right one. Nope, that's the wrong one. That's the right one. It's from below itself. Below it, I have set up a very interesting contraption, we'll call it, in which we have a bunch of Rowan and other witchery trees, as well as Rowan leaves. I have a bunch of farm fields. Now, I don't know that these snowballs actually affect it. This is one of the things that I wanted to test. So we're gonna check that here in a little bit. But got wheat, got carrots, got potatoes. All of these things are contributing to the power of that altar. And there are further things that we can do to contribute to the power of that altar that we'll look at later. So why do we care about the altar? Well, the altar is very important because, like I said, it powers the machinery of witchery. But we've already been making machines in witchery, and they were powering just fine, right? Well, let's take a look. So we know that the cauldron works. We've been using it. In fact, we're going to pop that out and take it with us. We know that this works because we've been using that as well. We're going to take that with us. If we can carry everything. Uh-oh. My little dudes just ate the fumes. I'm going to have to remake my flumes because my endo flames consumed them. So I'll have to make more flumes. Wait, that wasn't flumes that they ate. I'm not sure what they ate. But they ate something. Anyways. So let's get these fumes. Alright, now this is the machine that does not work. This X right here means that this is unpowered. And the distillery is kind of, you know, the whole piece we were starting off working towards last night. We wanted to get this distillery. And so we've now got one. And let's go make use of it. Oh, and I have been doing a lot of brewing in the cauldron. Let's just get rid of some stuff here. And my Ender Pearls farm is getting larger, as usual. So we've got 52 whiff of magic brewed up, 32 foul fume. I've got a bunch of clay jars sitting right here and a bunch of exhale of the horn one. And then we've got some wood ash right here ready to go. And we're going to grab this Breath of the Goddess. And I'll explain how we make each of those as we go. Some of them you've already seen. Let's fly up. Let's head out here. Now, back in the Witchery. Witchery is actually a very, very in-depth mod. You have a lot of different circles and rituals you can complete. You have a lot of different brews you can make. There's all kinds of stuff going on in this mod. We haven't even really begun to scratch the surface. There's poppets. There's a bunch of stuff. And we'll get deeper and deeper into it. But for example, some of the things you can put on this altar are this chalice. We'll actually make one of those. I've got everything ready to go. You can make this candelabra. The alluring skull. You can put the skull from a, what do you call it? Man, I just lost my entire train of thought. It's the dude from the Nether. Wither skull. You can put wither skulls on there. And they all have an impact on the storage capabilities of the altar. So we need some gold. How much did it say we needed? Chalice right here. 2 gold and 2 nuggets. Alright, so let's grab 2. We don't have any room. I never have any room, guys. And I took down all of my caches because I'm getting ready to set up something a little bit different, and I wanted to see how much they were actually affecting my FPS. Turns out they may not be affecting my FPS at all, sadly. I just had a whole bunch of nuggets and I got rid of them. I don't know where they went. It's alright. We can do it like this. Alright, so grab that. And let's get this back out right quick. I don't want to make a soft clay jar. I want to make a chalice. So we'll take these, put this in there, and that will give us a chalice. Now, we can actually fill the chalice up if we have redstone soup, but it's a little expensive to make. We're not going to be making that right now. And let's just go out here and we'll take a look at the difference this makes. So, right now, 2161. Let's put the chalice on it. Bam. It jumps up to 4,322. That's a pretty massive jump. Now, that didn't change anything about the rate at which it fills. Solely changed the total storage. There are other things, like I said, plenty of other things that you can stick on here. I'm wondering if a skeleton skull works. I can't remember. We're going to test it, though. I've got a skull right here. This is just a regular skull. It might work. So 4,322, 6,483, and it multiplies how fast it fills up times 2 now. So that skull helps. So there's all kinds of things you can do, and you can read the wiki page to see how to improve the power of this. Now, what we were really interested in was we were interested in this distillery, right? So let's just set our distillery down somewhere. Let's put it down. Let's just put it down beside it for now. So it's going to take it a second, but that's now gone. This thing is now being powered. It's pulling power from the altar, and that's what we wanted. The other thing that we need to set back up is we need to get our witch's oven set back up. So let's just set it to the side here. And we'll get the fumes put back on it. And then we're going to need to get our netherrack and our cauldron back out. Now, where do we want to do that? We got to be careful with this because, you know, I've got, like I said, I've got trees and stuff down there that I don't want to burn up. So I need a spot that I can put this netherrack in. It looks like that's going to be the spot. And I need to go get my flint and steel. Right there. And light this bad mamma jamma up. Boom. And then we'll throw our cauldron down on it. And as usual, anywhere that I'm going to be using a lot of water, I'm probably going to want to put down a sink. So let's, if you don't remember how I made the sink, there's multiples, but for some reason, making most of these, they just end up resetting back to the wooden one anyway. So I've basically resorted to only making wooden ones now. Do I have wood on me? I do not. Flowers, be gone. Be gone. Let's see. Let's grab 1, 2, 3 wood. Let's creep away real slow, and maybe it won't magnetize back to me. And I think all I wanted was some iron, right? Yeah. Let's grab 6 iron. And then we'll just shift click this bad boy into play. There we go. And we get a new sink. Okay. And we'll just run this out here. And I'm pretty sure it is flammable, so you probably don't want to set it right next to the fire. But from here, we can use buckets and fill it back up and all that good stuff. If I had buckets on me. But I don't know where my bucket is right now. Alright. And I think I'm probably about to need it, sadly. So, our altar is set up. Our distillery is ready to go. Why did we want this to begin with? Well, we actually want this so that we can get into the Impregnated Leather stage of the game. Impregnated Leather is used for some pretty cool stuff, like the Goggles of Revealing, as well as the Sojourner's Sash, and some other stuff. So, Impregnated Leather is right here. To make it, we need these whiffs of magic, some leather, and a diamond vapor. The diamond vapor has to be made in the distillery, which is why we needed it. But before we can make diamond vapor, we're going to need to be able to make oil of vitriol. To get oil of vitriol, we need quicklime and foul fume. Foul fume is not very difficult to get. Put in the witch's oven, put a jar, and put just regular oak wood, and you will get back foul fume, which we've already made some. So let's open this up. Let's stick some, what was it again? Let's see, foul fume. We want to make oil of vitriol. Quicklime and foul fume. Okay. So we need some jars. There's some jars. Now, how do we get quicklime? Well, all that wood ash we've been making, yeah, it becomes quicklime. It's real simple. Let's put the quicklime in. And then last, let's get the foul fume, which is right here. And we're going to put 16 of them in for now. And it's going to start brewing. It's not exactly the fastest process in the world, so I'm not going to sit here and make tons of this stuff. But we know what we want to make with this impregnated leather, and that is the Goggles of Revealing. These come from Thaumcraft, and if you haven't researched them, you're not going to be able to see the recipe, but if you have, you will. Goggles of Revealing take 4 impregnated leather, 2 golden ingots, and 2 thermometers. Okay, we should be able to do that pretty easily. And the impregnated leather recipe should kick us back 4 to begin with, which is what we're after. Now the question is, what did I do with all of my leather? Because I went and collected 64 leather just for this. Nope. What about you? Nope. Alright, we're going to have to go find our leather. Alright, so we've got some oil of vitriol. I'm going to let one more cook up while we come back here right quick. And when this thing's running, you know, this is already filled back up. It's not consuming too much. So if you wanted to, you could have a couple of these on hand. Let's see how much it actually consumes per craft here. It's about done. One more tick. Okay, that's interesting. Not even enough to really affect it, I don't guess. Yeah, it just needs to be nearby it, I suppose. Interesting. I had no idea. All right, let's pull this stuff out. We're going to drop the oil of vitriol in, and now we're going to need some diamonds. We've got diamonds right here on me. So let's toss the diamonds in there. And it should start brewing up. There we go. We're going to run inside real quick and locate our leather. So, this is what I'm looking for. Where is it? Did I put it all in here? Really? There's 15. There it is. 64 leather. And I got 15 more right there. Alright. Obviously, we're not going to use all of it. But we are going to use some of it. Don't forget to scan your new machines with your your thermometer every time you get new ones. The more you do, the more research you get. And also, I did not show this off in the first episode, but the the thermometer can actually be used inside of your inventory to scan items just by holding it over them. It actually works very well for that. Alright, how we doing here? We got 2 and 1 of those. Odor of Purity. 2 more. There we go. Okay. Now we want to make the impregnated leather. Impreg. And to make impregnated leather, we need 1 of these per 4 of these. Now we don't have a crafting table out here. That's okay. I might put one out here eventually. For now, we're just going to go with it as it is. So, impregnated leather, let's shift-click the recipe in. So, we'll pull 4 of those out. And 4 again, and 4 again, and 4 again. And there we go. We got 16 impregnated leather. That's going to carry us for a good little bit. The impregnated leather is used in the witch's hat, which helps with brewing, as well as the witch's robes, necromancy robes. There's a lot of different things just in witchery alone that are going to use these. This is one of the big ones that I want to get to, is the Sojourner's Sash, but we're not there yet. We're not ready yet. There's also the brew bag, the tectonic girdle, which is actually pretty easy to make now that I look at it. So, good stuff. Going to help us do a lot more of our magic progression. Let's move inside for a little bit. So, impregnated leather is now done, and witchery is now done. Now, we need to make 2 more thermometers, okay? So we're going to need some mana glass. So let's reach into door number 1. Let's make like 10 mana glass right quick. We'll just run downstairs and do that. So remember, you don't have to put them in one by one. You can if you so choose. I'm just going to drop them all in. Unless I miss like that, because I'm pro. So throw those in. There we go. They all pop back out. We're good to go. Let's run upstairs. And I will be moving my Britannia setup one more time as well sometime down the road. Probably after we do the next major, Britannia episode. Somewhere okay, this will work. We're going to get some shards. Did I already have the shards on me? And I just moved them somewhere? Maybe. Maybe, baby. Shards. I know I have those things somewhere. Because I know I have not been intelligent enough. Whoops, I'll have to break that in to put them back. But we'll take some of those. Those will work. Oh my gosh. Nope. Nope. Yep. Okay, we're going to want shards, and then we're going to want gold. I can never remember what I'm doing. Too many crafting tables. And that'll give us 2 more thermometers. Now, while you have the opportunity and you've got multiple thermometers in your bag, scan your other thermometer. There you go. Free points. Now, we want to come over here to our arcane table. And I've been making some arcane stone blocks. You should remember those from last time. Pop this in. Pop this in. Goggles of, there we go. Gold and impregnated leather. Okay. Grab a couple more pieces of gold here. One, two. And it's going to take all of these different aspects. We're missing fire in our wand. So let's grab our wand. And fortunately, I planted some silverwood saplings. And if you look, that tells you what's inside of them, right? So this one's got, well, if my jetpack were charged, it would tell us what's inside of them. But I just can't win, guys. Charging up the jetpack right quick. Oh, and if you notice right now, my hearts are kind of shimmering down there, right? That's because I currently am wearing a ring with runic shielding on it. And I'm carrying around my wand, which has Viz in it, to allow that to take effect. It basically acts as a form of damage absorption. So this is pure. It's got white, green, and I think that might give a little red. Let's see. What is my current? Ignis is 0.8. Let's see. We'll fill back up what we can. Okay. It did not give any Ignis. Okay. But I know that there's Ignis up here. So I had this little floating island and I planted a few more silverwood trees. And this is the second time this one's grown and not produced a single node. Anyways, this one has Ignis in it. And I think actually the other one does as well. This tree is actually really nice. It has a lot of different colors in it for our benefit. What does this one have in it? This one has Ignis Ordo. So red and white. So we can just fly up here and drain it. And we want to be careful not to fully drain it because you'll kill the node. That's part of one of the earliest researches you're going to want to do. Alright, so how much Ignis are we on now? 8.8. That should be enough to do what we're going to do. Although, I also want to make another wand. So here, we're gonna go on a quick. Whoa. We're gonna go on a quick Viz run. So I've got Viz and I bookmark waypoints to them with the color of the Viz that they give. So this is a big source of black right here. This one back here gives yellow, white, and black. So we're just gonna roll over here. Where is it at? There it is. Okay. So this one's not bad. It'll give us a decent fill. We need green, red, and blue. I know that those all three exist right over here. There's green, yellow, and blue, and then there's a red nearby as well. I need to get rid of that one that says node. Alright, so let's fill up right here. There we go. Blue's full. Green's pretty much full. Blue, gray, black. Let's go over here to the red, green. There we go. And there we go. Our wand is now topped off. We're ready to go back to the base. Okay. So, before I go too much further, well, actually, we're just going to drop this in and we're going to get this done. So this is going to give us our Goggles of Revealing. Now, the Goggles of Revealing are very nice because A, they give us a Viz discount, but B, the Goggles of Revealing allow us to see things like those nodes without having to hold our thumb meter in front of our face all the time. So, for example, let me find a nearby one. We'll just go over to my trees. So you can see, I can see the nodes very clearly from much further away now. Instead of having to have my thumb, I can see that one all the way down there already. Normally I would need my thermometer up just to see those, but now I can see them, you know, normally. You can also actually use these to upgrade helmets if you're at the right point in the game or you've done the correct research, blah, blah, blah. So those are a huge gain for us. We can now find nodes out and about. Now you're still going to want your thermometer to actually scan them. Alright, now the next thing that I want to do is I want to get a Gold Capped Greatwood Wand made. And for that, we need to make a Greatwood core first. So we're going to take this Impregnated Leather out and we're going to drop in a couple of Greatwood logs. That's going to cost us 3.15 perditio. We're good with that. Let's put that back. Actually, let's take that out. What am I going to drop here? I'm going to drop this for the moment. Then we're going to need some golden nuggets. And I got those ready to go right here. And let's put them right there and right there. That's going to take a little bit as well. 3.15 Ordo, Air, and Ignis. So there's 1, 2. Put those down. Get your Greatwood Wand. And you're going to need just under 10. Normally it would be 10, but I'm getting a small discount because of the Goggles of Revealing. So 9.45 to make my gold balanced Greatwood Wand. This wand holds 25. This wand holds 50 of each. So we have a stronger wand now. We can carry more Viz with us. And we can kind of leave this wand in the table and carry this wand around with us to go do things now. Or we can take them both and fill them both up. Whatever we want to do. So that's our next steps in Thaum. And Thaum's about to really kind of open up and get a lot more fun. Here very soon. So with that all done, we are now ready to start blood magic. And let's throw that dirt block away. Let's put this stuff in here for the moment. Okay. And I did find another sigil earlier today. Alright, so for blood magic, as with Thaum and with, you know, the others, we're going to need a starting out point. And that starting out point is usually a cauldron of some type. In blood magic, that starting out point is the blood altar. To get started with your blood altar, you're going to need 4 of the blocks from Witchery's altar, the same one we just used to make the Witchery Altar, 1 slab of living rock from Botania, the alchemical furnace from Thaumcraft, an attuned stone from Witchery, which we just made a little bit ago, and a mana steel ingot, 2 of them from Botania. So blood magic really requires you to have at least started on all of the other mods before you're going to be able to start on it. And I've already got the attuned stone, the mana steel, the alchemical furnace, the living rock slab in here. We just made the altars, so here's this, and we're going to grab out our blood altar right now. Okay? And we're going to go place this bad boy down, and I'm going to place it down, for now I'm going to place it down right here. And I'm actually going to elevate it a little bit, just for fun. We'll set it down over here, kind of. So let's put it right there. And I'll make that look better later. So, the blood altar currently has nothing going on with it, and we can't do anything with it. Blood magic is very different, and it is very large. It is, I mean, if you've never looked into it, go check out like Direwolf 20 or somebody's spotlight on it. Direwolf did like 4-part spotlight just on this mod. If you take a raw pork chop in a book, you'll get the Sanguine Scientium. Now, I've never even looked at this book, but we're going to look at it for a second. So you kind of have to know what area you want to start out in. We want to start out in the Architect. The Blood Altar. Now, this is the original recipe. This is not the recipe we're working with, but this gives us the Blood Altar. The way the Blood Altar works is it's a multi-block structure. And once you have the Blood Altar, you kind of tell right here that you're going to want this Sacrificial Orb. And it's going to tell you how to get started. I don't need it exactly for the very beginnings. I might need it for later. But to get your Sacrificial Orb, you're going to need something else from Botania. You're going to need a Mana Pearl, which if you don't remember is simply an Ender Pearl that has been thrown into a Mana Vat. And then you're going to want to come to your Tinker's Construct Smeltery, and you're going to want to pour blood over the Mana Pearl. If there's no blood in your foundry, you can either kill something inside of it using a hot liquid, or you can stand in it yourself while there's a hot liquid, and you will get blood inside. So let's tap this, and it's going to cover this pearl in blood. Takes 1,000 blood, and we get our Sacrificial Orb. Now, the Sacrificial Orb is a very dangerous item. You can absolutely 100% kill yourself with this item. Be aware. So, this altar, what we want to do is we want to put blood into it. And as you can probably guess, we're going to right-click the Sacrificial Orb to do that. Every time we right-click, it's going to take away a heart. And that heart is going to put blood into here, and it's going to slowly be sucked into the blood altar. The blood altar itself actually has an internal buffer that's going to slowly fill up. So we're going to drain our life down almost to death. And we're going to wait for that blood altar to fill back up. So we've got the blood altar done. We've got the Sacrificial Orb done. So what comes next? Well, let's look at the book. Let's see what the book says, because I've never looked at the book and it sounds fun. If not, if you don't want to look at the book, you can always go back to the guide, to the magic tree, and to blood magic. So we need a blood altar. We need the orb. Now we need to get slate. "16 slates to make blood runes, and a few brewing stands, and send them through the altar for our next journey." Okay? Alright, well, let's look at what it's talking about. So blood runes right here. You're going to need these blank slates, and you're going to need this blood orb. We're going to start off by getting a weak blood orb, which takes a mana diamond. Now, I've already made some mana diamonds from earlier when we were getting the attuned stones created. Right here, I got a mana diamond. So if there's enough blood in your blood altar, you can make the, where's it at? Right here, weak orb. It takes 2,000 life points. Life points are the blood you drain into the altar. So clickety-clackety. Keep dropping it in there. Get it nice and filled up. If I click again, I die, so I will wait. And we'll go ahead and drop this down. Or actually, put it in. There we go. Come on, health. I need a cheeseburger. Now, the Sacrificial Orb is not the only way to fill up the blood altar. You can also make the Dagger of Sacrifice, which is an Arthana from Witchery with 2,500 blood will get you the Dagger of Sacrifice. The Arthana is not very difficult. It takes a living wood twig, some nuggets, a mana pearl, and a golden ingot, and you will get an Arthana. And there we go. We got our weak blood orb. And so now we can actually begin crafting blood runes. To craft a blood rune, we're going to need 4 stone, any shard, some blank slates, and a waystone. A waystone is simply flint thrown into mana. So we'll go get that in just a minute. More importantly, we got to figure out how to get the slate. Well, the slate is really just arcane stones that have been thrown in here at a cost of 1,000 blood points each. So as you can tell, all the magic mods are definitely all tied together. And you don't have to stand directly on this blood shrine. You just need to stand kind of near it. And you'll be able to put your blood in it. Alright, we're going to go grab some arcane stones. I've got them right here. And we're going to start dropping them in here. So there's one. All right, sorry, we've got to put them in there. I keep forgetting this is not a drop. While that's going on, while that's transferring over, let's go and get some flint and turn it into waystones. Let's just do a batch of it. I don't know how many of these we're going to need, but we're going to go in bulk so we don't have to mess with it again. We get 4 per. So I definitely don't want to throw all of these in. I'll throw in 16. That'll give me 64. And we'll put our torches away and pick all these up. Alright. 64 waystones right there. Alright, let's run back over here. And you can see we've got our first slate right here. So let's try to make some room in our bag again. What can I get rid of? We can get rid of that zombie flesh, can't we? Put that up there. Okay, so we've got our slate. And this is basically where you're going to be consuming a lot of food or regeneration effects, etc., etc., to spike yourself and get blood into here and let it transfer. Now, fortunately, these things transfer a lot faster than most, like the orb did. You know, the orb, the little alchemical orb took a little bit to transfer in. Jeebus, I have no room. Gypsum. I'm always out of space, guys. I don't think that these take a single slot, do they? No, they don't. Okay. You just need an open hand to pick it up with. And there's all my blood drained out, so let's fill it back up. If you remember, it said we're going to need 16 of these, so let's see how quickly we can get 16 of these made. And it's slowly draining all the blood out of there. And we're slowly filling ourselves back up. There's 4. Now, if you happen to have a lot of brewing and potions and things, you could use potions of health or potions of regeneration. Things like that will all push this along quicker. That's precisely what I am about to do. That, and I'm going to dump off some items right quick. I don't even know why I have treated wood planks on me. Put that in there, put that in there, put that in there. Bring that back out. Okay, let's go over here and put all of these away for now. Alright, that gives us at least a little room to work with now. So the golden apple will also give you regeneration. If you want to get real, you know, expensive with it. Oh, the fun part. What does it take to make regen potions? Let's look. Potion of Regeneration 2. Glowstone dust on a potion of regeneration gets you a potion of regeneration 2. And an awkward potion, which is netherwort, with a gas tier gets you potion of regeneration. Yeah, I could make them. No, I'm not going to right now. Potion of healing. 2 glowstone with this. Glistening melon. We could actually make glistening melon pretty easily. Alright, we're halfway there. Get full health right quick. It also helps if you have your heart containers built up to give yourself extra life. Or you could always just kill yourself and come back. Alright, while that is doing, or while I am refilling, I need blood. So what we're wanting to make are these blood runes. And to do that, we will need shards, stones, and blah, blah, blah. So let's go get, actually we've got a crafting table. Let's just go grab some stones and some shards. I should have shards already somewhere, because I've grabbed them multiple times now. But stone, I know we've got right here. Shards should be down here. There we go. Everything else I should have on me. Alright, let's start crafting these right quick. So let's grab this. And this. Okay. So we're just going to shift click this. No, it's not going to let me. Fine. Be difficult. What was at the top? Waste stones. Okay. And put this in here and we pull these out. Alright, so we've got 5 of them. We need 9 of them. Or 8 of them actually is what we need. So we're going to take these and we're going to start placing them around it. And we're basically building our blood shrine right now. Okay, so let's put that back in there. Now we can just kind of stand to the side of this. Eat a cheeseburger. Come on now. This part's the slow part. This part's where it gets a little bit boring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this altar out, and that will upgrade my what do you call it? Blood altar here to level 2. The reason we want to upgrade our blood altar is certain things can only be done from certain tiers of the altar. So for example, rune of augmented capability or capacity, I'm sorry. Actually, let's look at it this way. In order to make the apprentice blood orb, we need prismarine. Prismarine comes from prismarine shards around cobblestone. And prismarine shards come from nether quartz into mana with an alchemy catalyst. So we're going to have to make the Alchemy Catalyst. But you can see right here that it requires a tier 2 Blood Altar and 5,000 LP just to make this. This continues to go up. Tier 3. If you want to get into the Archmages, you need tier 5. You need tier 6 for the Transcendent. That's for creative mode only. But there's a lot of cool stuff in Blood Magic. And it opens up a lot of capabilities. The spellcasting system in this mod is massive. What we're going to work towards in the beginning is mostly going to be these different sigils. As well as the slates get used in several of our recipes. If you look at, I don't remember which one it was, some of the alchemical infusions are going to take some of these slates and whatnot. So I'm going to finish this out, I'm going to get this upgraded, and that's going to be it for me for tonight. We got a lot more done on our magic. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you liked it, like it. If you'd like to see more like it, hit that subscribe button. As always, remember that I stream every night from 9 p.m. Central till about midnight, sometimes a little later. I'd love for you guys to come and hang out with me. Other than that, you guys be good to one another. Take it easy. Laters.